Today we are going to discuss about ratio and proportion. So firstly, we are going to define ratio. Okay. So what is the ratio? Ratio represents the relative sizes of two numbers or quantities. For example, 15 kimi and 20 kimi. If we find the ratio of two things, that is 15 kimi and 20 kimi, then we can write 15 is to 20. This sign is called is to. Okay. So if we divide by 5, then we can write 3 is to 4. Okay. Now see that to find the ratio of two numbers or quantities of the same kind of things, that means kimi and kimi. If both not are in kimi, then you have to convert in same quantities. Otherwise, you cannot calculate the ratio. So, ratio can also be thought of as a fraction. Why? Because if 3 is to 4, that means you can write 3 by 4. So the ratios are also can be thought as a fraction. Suppose 1 is to 4. 1 is to 4. So 1 is to 4 can be written as 1 by 4 is to 1. Okay. Why? Because if we divide both sides by 4, then we get that 1 by 4 is to 1. Okay. So this is an fractional ratio. Now, going to the next part. Now, if we consider a ratio 2 is to 3, for the first term, this is called first term, and this is called second term. This is called second term. Or we can write here antecedent. Antecedent. Okay. And this is the consequent. Consequent. So in the ratio, the first number is called first term or antecedent, and the second number, that is 3, is called second term or consequent. So we can write here the ratio equals to first term by second term, or we can write antecedent by consequent. Okay. So ratio equals to first term by second term or antecedent by consequent. Now, some points to be remembered when we are doing the sums. The ratio of two numbers can be expressed as a fraction. So that means if we express 2 is to 3 in fraction, then we can write 2 by 3 is to 1, or we can write 1 is to 3 by 2. Okay. If we divide the ratio by 3, then we get 2 by 3 is to 1, and if we divide by 2, then we get 1 is to 3 by 2. Now next, see that while finding the ratio of like quantities, make sure that the unit of measurement is same. We already previously discussed about that. When two units are there, suppose one unit is given 1.5 hour and 3 minutes. So when different unit is there, hour and minute is given, then you have to convert into the minute or into the hour. Same unit. If you have to convert into the hour, otherwise you have to convert into the minute. If same units are there, then you can find the ratio of this part. Next, the ratio of the unlike quantities. For example, the ratio of the man weight to the height is meaningless. So we cannot find the unlike quantities ratio. Okay, we cannot find the hour and minute ratio. We always have to. We can find the ratio of the hour and hour, minute and minute, kilometer and kilometer, like that. Not meter into meter and kilometer. We can find. We have to find the kilometer and kilometer. Okay, same unit you have to find. Then you have to find the ratio. This is the main thing of the ratio and proportion chapter. You have to find the ratio before you have to convert it into the same unit. Then you have to find the ratio. Now, a ratio doesn't have any unit of the measurement. You already seen about that. I'm not writing any unit when we are finding the ratio. That means the ratio haven't any unit. Okay, it is no unit is there. And the last one, expressions like double, triple, 4 times can be expressed as ratios. That means you can find the is to 1 ratio. That means 2 is to 1, 3 is to 1, 4 is to 1, like that. So if 1 is common here, see that? So you have to find this type of ratio if you want. Okay. Next. Now, nextly, we are going to discuss about simplification of the ratios. What is the simplification of the ratios? Suppose on ratio is given 75 is to 200. Now you have to simplify it. That means you have to divide it in the same numbers. If you divide by 5, then you have also divide by 5 this number also. If we divide, this is 15 and this is 40. If we divide again by 5, that is 3 and this is 8. So see that this is the simplest part of this ratio. So 3 is to 8 is the simplest part of this ratio. So you have to find like that the simplification of the ratios. Okay, just divide both the numbers with the same number. Divide both the numbers by a same numbers. Okay. Now next, number 2, see that 2 by 15 is to 1 by 25. So see that one fractional ratio is given. For the fractional ratios, you have to find before you find the simplification, you have to multiply the crossly multiplied. That means this into this and this into this. So if we multiply it, then we get 50 is to 15. Okay. If we multiply it, we get 50 is to 15. Then divide by 5, this is 10 is to 3. So this is a simplification from of the fractional type ratios. Now we are going to the next part. Next thing, divide a number into 2 parts. Okay, divide a number into 2 parts. This is a very important part in the ratio chapter. Divide a number into 2 parts. Suppose we are dividing 100 rupees into 8 into 2 ratios by to A and B. Okay. So we are dividing 100 rupees in 8 is to 2 ratios in A and B. So what is the part of A and what is the part of B here? So see that for A equals to This is 100 rupees. And A means the first one. So 8 by total number of the ratio. That means 8 plus 2. So 8 plus 2 equals to 10. This is 10. So 10 and 100 cancel. This is 10. That means 80. And for B, 100 into 2 by 10. Why 10? Because you have to add the ratios. You have to add the ratios. Okay. Sum of the terms. Okay. So this is 10. That means 20. So A got rupees 80 and B got rupees 20 here. So this is the process for dividing a number into two parts. Okay, 2 or 3 parts can be, but mentionally I am discussing about 2 parts. Now, next topic is compound ratio. So what is the compound ratio? The compound ratio of 2 or more given ratios is the ratio whose antecedent is product of the antecedents of the given ratios and whose consequent is the product of the consequence of the given ratios. For example, we can discuss, suppose 2 ratios are given, suppose 4:5 and 2:3. So 2 ratios are given, 4:5 and 2:3. You have to find the compound ratio of these ratios. So we have to multiply, that is 4 into 2. That means the multiplication of the antecedents. The multiplication of the antecedents. And the multiplication of the consequent is 5 and 3. So 5 into 3 here. So you can write here 8 is to 15. So 8 is to 15. That means the compound ratio of 4:5 and 2:3 is 8:15. Okay. Now, next topic is proportion. So what is a proportion? If there are 4 quantities, see that 4 quantities are there, 5, 50, 50 and 150. 4 quantities are there. Such that the ratio of the first quantity to the second quantity equals the ratio of the third quantity to the fourth quantity, then the 4 quantities are to be said in proportion. Now, if we evaluate this ratio or simplify this ratio, we can get 1:10, right? Now, if we evaluate this ratio, now firstly 5, that means 3:30, then 1:10. That means, see that this ratio and these ratios are same. Okay, this ratio and this ratio are same. So we can say that these ratios are in proportion. So for the formula of the proportion is the product of the extremes equals to product of means. That means we usually use this type of symbol for proportion. 5:50 proportionate to 15:150. Okay, this is the symbol of the proportion. 4 dot is there. Now, if we multiply the product of the extremes, see that 5 and 150. That means 750. Right? Now, product of the means. See that? Product of the means means these two. Okay. So that means also 750. So that means 1:1. See that same ratios are there. So we can say that these ratios are in proportion. Now, we are going to discuss about the exercise. So number 1, see that find the first term, second term, antecedent and consequent in 2 ratios are given. So I am discussing about 13:8. So this is the first term or antecedent. And this is the second term or consequent. Okay. So in 13 is to 8, first term is the first number and the second term is the second number here. Now number 2. In number 2, see that you have to find the simplest form. In simplest form, that means number 3, see that 84 is to 49. If we divide by 7 in both, so 12 is to 7. So this is the ultimate ratio because we are not getting any common factor between these two numbers. So this is the ultimate ratio of 84 is to 49. Next number 5. In 5, see that 1 is to 4 by 9. So if this type of given, that means 1 by 1, you are previously discussed, you have to multiply crossly. That means 9 into 1 and 4 into 1. That means 9 is to 4. Okay. Next one, 2 7. In 2 7, see that two ratios are given 3 of 3 by 5. 3 of 3 by 5 is to 2 of 2 by 5. 2 of 2 by 5. So firstly, you have to block the mixed fraction. So 3 into 5, 15, that is 18 by 5 is to 12 by 5. Now see that if the denominator is common, then we can ignore it. So we can write 18 is to 12. Now we can divide by 6 here, so 3 is to 2. So the ratio of this fraction is 3 is to 2. Now, next number.